Yeah. Hello there. This is the Duff Doctor. It is Tuesday. You know what that means. Another episode of 20TIMinutes.
Party people, y'all wanna get funky? Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim McCarthy here with another episode of 20TIMinutes. This is a 20-minute podcast that focuses on mental health through humor, positivity, a little bit of motivation, insight, and my own personal stories, which are always a treat. Episode 8 was introduced by my great friend, Stephen Reardon, aka Duff, the Duff Doctor. He is the greatest. If you ever met him, you'd be like, that guy is the greatest. So get a friend like Duff. Duff just bought me a hat, which I think is a Christmas present, maybe pre-birthday present. And it's pretty sweet. I'm a big hat guy, if you know me. And this one is L7 Weenie from The Sandlot. So it's shaped as an L and a 7, but they're weenies. So it's an L7 weenie with the squint glasses on. So if you don't know what The Sandlot is, I would turn this podcast off. Just kidding. I need as many fans as I can get because I love attention. So please tell your friends. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I made a YouTube page where I recorded an episode trying to record this episode. So if you're watching this right now and I'm talking about it, then I did it. I'm also on TikTok, which people just make fun of me. So you can try that out. But again, I appreciate you guys so much. And episode 8 is here. I'm excited to record a new episode. I always get jacked up for these. And I always have like a song to pump me up. And I put a collection of them on my Instagram story thing. Like the little profile underneath where you can make like little albums of stuff. But those are all the songs that I put together for this pre-warm-up of this episode I do on the podcast, 20TIMinutes. Well, New Year's Eve has come and passed. We all time traveled from 2020 to 2021. The poor man's time travel, so hopefully it wasn't too hard for you. Me and Lindsay did not do much, and I was pretty excited about it. We had reservations at Legal Seafood, which there was no one there. No reason to make reservations. I feel like New Year's is a huge Chinese food night, but we went the opposite, and we were just like, you know what? Let's go to Legal Seafood. And I got to make the illegal seafood reference to the waitress, and she gave me the old yuck. But I knew that she was going to do that, which makes me laugh because that's such a terrible joke. And I love terrible jokes. So then me and Lindsay came home, and we were going to watch the ball drop, but then I realized I don't have cable. I just do like the streaming services. And so I was scrambling for that. So Hulu had like something, but it was like showing me the actual news. So then I went to YouTube and streamed something. And then I realized we're getting ready. And I look at my phone and the time's not syncing up to the drop. So we scrambled to get our champagne and stuff. Come to find out, I forgot I paused the ball drop. So I was like 20 seconds later, like the ball dropped before we knew about it because of me. And I was like, oh, this is weird, it's delayed. So then I tried like changing it, but I hit fast forward and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So I felt like an idiot for that, but very thankful that I got to spend it with my wife, hang low, not really do anything. Low key, I kind of like the whole COVID. Not like people having COVID, like, come on. But like the COVID of like having the ability to cancel plans and not even go to plans and like being like, sorry, don't want to get COVID, don't want to get it. Which I don't. So it works out. Like a part of me is like, oh, I would like to, nope, sorry, don't want to do that. So thanks. COVID was okay with that. And I don't know. Hopefully everyone's healthy and no one gets COVID. So I've been bumming this whole week and I don't know why. I thought I was going to start a new year and I told everyone, I was like, hey, don't make huge expectations. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make this new year fantastic. And there wasn't really anything that triggered it. I get in these moods and I knew I was going to have trouble with this episode a little bit. And I did, because I tried to get it together because I got all this pretty sweet new equipment, and I'm so like lazy and unmotivated lately that like I didn't even like try to set it up before I recorded. Like I thought I was just gonna put it all together and be like, you know what, it's gonna make this work. We just gotta figure it out easy. But that wasn't the case, and I was super defeated. I usually record on Friday, Saturday, the latest Sunday, and today before recording it's Monday, so I'm just glad I did it. I'm doing it regardless how my mood is. I want to be open and honest with you on my feelings, how I'm feeling, all that stuff. I know like what kind of really bums me out is not knowing how to do anything as a homeowner. I'm always YouTubing stuff, relying on other people, especially my wife's dad, to help me out. So like little tasks that seem probably easy for the normal human male adult, I can't do. And that really just gets me infuriated. So then I just bury myself with other shit. Like this podcast has nothing to do with my home, but I will bring myself down with the podcast. Be like, you know what? This podcast sucks. No one likes it. Everyone's just being nice because I'm their friend. But that probably isn't the case. Well, it probably is the case with some people. And a lot of new people have been reaching out that they finally listened. Like, I get it. Like, you don't have to pussyfoot around with me. If you haven't listened yet, you can tell me that. Because podcasts, I barely listen to them. Like, I'm not a huge podcast guy. There's probably like 2. And I gave up on them to start my own career in podcasting. But I did decorate the podcast room. So if you are seeing this, it is an upgrade from last time. I was getting absolutely dunked on by my close friends. They were saying some ruthless things to me that were hilarious, but also like, come on, guys. I didn't realize it, how ridiculous it looked, so put up a couple Funko Pops, a couple posters I like, and actually the article of the Nintendo Friendo Championship I won. I have to take a photo of that, show everybody. My mom laminated it. See, the hoarder of my mom is insane. Like a newspaper article, when is that from? I don't even know. It doesn't say on there, but super old. Like, I'll pass it on to no one. But I did make a list of what I was grateful for this past year. I am probably missing a lot of stuff, but it's the stuff that came to my head when I was like, you know what? I'm sad. Let's put a list together. So, first off, I'm a huge wrestling fan, or was. I don't watch it anymore, but I got to go to a lot of local wrestling shows with some really good friends, Duff being one of them, and they were friggin' awesome. Like the best shows. It was like, I forget, it's like the White Eagle in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's like a VFW. It is ridiculous. People throwing through chairs, tables. I think people in the fans get hurt. Like just drunk women yelling at people. Like there's always like a fight with like wrestlers and like normal people. And you're like, I don't know if this is a work or not. Like what is going on? And then another great thing I did this year was Duff took me to PAX East. We're also big video game people, so going there was great. We ran into the Blue Meanie from the BWO, ECW days. Get familiar? And then the guy from Conan, Clueless Gamer, Aaron Blayhart, I think his name is. We chatted with him for a bit. Had a lot of good times with Duff there. Got 2 pretty rad tattoos this year. Got my zebra cake tattoo and my Lily Munster tattoo, which I both love. And yes, zebra cake tattoo referenced again. What else do I have? I adopted Fanny in May. Love that. She is a big part of my life and Lindsay's life, and I'm so grateful to have her. Had my 5th wedding anniversary in May. Trained jiu-jitsu a lot. Me and Lindsay been killing it at the casino up and down. Get to see new friends. New friends and old friends, and making new friends out of the old friends. Keep up. Do you know what that means? And, of course, now me starting my own podcast at the end of the year. It was like a buzzer beater for me. Like, you know what? I'm going to throw up this podcast, see if it hits. Cling, cling, cling. Oh, it went in. Hell yeah. For 3. But I am grateful for stuff. I actually have been writing in that book. And if you didn't see what I said about it was, excuse me. So I'm writing down like keywords, like just like bulletins of like things I'll remember, hopefully. Like next year, I'm like, what the hell does this mean? But I'm also grading my days, like on a 10-point scale. And I'm trying to be as honest about it. So my first 3 days, like it was like a 6.8, 5.1, and then like a 5.5. Like they weren't terrible, but I was like on the line because like that's pretty much, hey, a 5 is like the definition of bipolar on the 10-point scale. Like, I don't know if I should go this way, that way. Oh, I got to be just even. But I'm sad enough to be happy that I wrote in this book. Oh, Jesus. But, so, we went to the casino the next day, me and Lindsay. And we have a blast at casinos. But there's times that I'm like, you know what? I could have really saved this money. Like, for her birthday last year, she won $5,000 on 2 different slots total. We're at Foxwood, she won like $3,000, and then we went to Mohegan like 10 hours later, and she won $2,000. It was like, what is going on here? But we had a good time at the casino. We have our own slot machine, and every time we play it, we win like $1,000 on it, and it's so weird. Oh, you know what? I meant to tell this story last week about Lindsay. All right, she duped me. I dupe her in everything. Like, I'm always just getting her and stuff. Like, I scared her at like 5 in the morning yesterday when she was coming home. Like, I'm always doing that stuff. So I don't know how she got me, but I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 a lot, and I'm doing all like the side missions and like hunting animals and shit. So I'm like really into this, and me and her having like a casual conversation. Like, the thing she said next, it did not register in my head. She goes, Tim, there's a bear in the backyard. I'm like, what? She's like, there's a bear in the backyard. So I see my phone and I grab it and I'm like running to my back window, like high stepping it. And then she just starts hysterically laughing at me when I'm looking out the window. And then I come back to reality because I'm not a cowboy killing bears in the woods. And she's just hysterically laughing in my face. And I felt like a dickhead because I'm like, how the hell would there be a bear in my backyard? Like, we get deer and some like other low-key wildlife, but a bear? Like, I don't even know what type of bear I process in my head. Grizzly bear or a black bear? I would assume black bear, right? Like, I don't even know if that's funny and that's like he had to be there story, but like I felt like an idiot. Like, what? How did you, like, there's a bear in the backyard. But anyway, sorry, back to the casinos. Like, low-key, I feel like I'm a little bit addicted to casinos. Like, I like just love, like, it's like arcades for adults. I'm like, you know what? Just one more bet. It's coming. Okay, one more. All right, I'm out of here after this one. All right, now I'm fucking broke. And the key is, if you go to a casino, bring money that you can afford to lose. Don't go with money that you think you're going to win. Don't do that. Go down with money and have fun. And be positive, because you can win some money if you're just positive. PMA. But the reason I bring up like the low-key addiction is this episode I wanted to focus on drug and alcohol addiction, and probably the same goes for all addictions. So I was fortunate enough to send out a message to see if anyone wanted to help me with this, because I never really dealt or had alcohol or drug related issues, because I wanted to see like what the correlation was with mental health, if anyone got mental health help to get that fixed. I'm not going to be good on every topic because it doesn't pertain to me with a lot of these that I want to do, but my goal is to help other people. And I'm obviously going to keep this anonymous with the 2 people that talk to me. They are both really good friends, really great people. They were very honest with me, and hopefully that can help you down the road and take a look at yourself, around you, and maybe be like, I need to better myself. So, made some notes because I am very bad at paraphrasing, especially that I have to edit this podcast a million times. So let me know, Ash, also too, if you can tell where I edit it or transition. I'll send you something in the mail. And if you're right or if you're wrong, you got to send me something in the mail. So friend number 1, this is mostly around drugs. Friend number 2 is mostly around alcohol, I would say. But these are like the gist of the stories and what happened with them. So the first friend, I asked, like, what did you do for drugs? And it went in order like this: weed, booze, tobacco, shrooms, LSD, pretty much any pills, coke, perks, and then I got to heroin. The heroin is a huge financial decision for a lot of people, because it is the cheapest of all the drugs, because opiates, the pill form, I believe, is just super expensive. And when you're doing drugs or getting fucked up, you got to do it the cheapest way possible, because most of the time people that have drug addictions don't really have the best financial game plan for themselves. So that is unfortunate. And also, so when he grew up, he just he took anything that he could find, get your hands on, like the whole medicine cabinet movie. Just go in there and just snag it up. I still, like, to this day, I hide my medication, not because like I'm afraid of like friends and family like taking it, but like I would never want someone to get it by mistake or something. You know what I mean? It's just one of those weird bugaboos I have. Like, the only drugs I take is my medication. Like, not doing drugs and like slugging waters, great feeling. But then I also drink a little bit, so I wish I was a lot more healthier. But anyway, not about me anymore. I asked if they were like in denial or if it was like someone else. He says he wasn't in denial about it, but he would describe it as putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm, which is a pretty good analogy. It's like, drugs will fix this for now, but there is a huge underlying problem. And the idea of like putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm, be like, all right, go out there, you'll be fine, is a funny analogy. And this guy is actually wicked funny, so it was good to chat with him about it. And that translates to not being in a good mental state, because you're putting chemicals in your body when you can have mentally, chemically unbalanced in your brain. So you're mixing all this stuff that's like not even natural into your body, and you're like, well, I'm happy for now, but then you wake up and you're just absolutely miserable. So I can see how that breaks someone down addiction-wise, because again, I can only compare for how I feel, and then I have to guess like how other people would feel. So put myself in their shoes. So don't take anything I say exactly. I'm not a doctor. I have a PSA at the end of my episodes that if you need actual help, please go and seek it. I am just here to hope you realize that you're not alone, and maybe I can enlighten you with some things I'm learning. Like, I'm learning too. Like, I'm 20TIMinutes. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out things in 20 minutes myself. But that person, 4 years clean of opiates and heroin, which is great. Then I asked too, was like, are drug dealers the problem? Like, do you blame them and all? And he said no, because you got to take account of your own actions. And most of the time, drug dealers are drug addicts too, so it would make sense. But he turned it around, and he found the outlet of therapy, meditation, exercise, and I'm just really happy for that person. And he's doing great, and he's going to continue to do great. And but never suicidal. He had ideas, like, I'm the same way with some of those things, where it's like, you're in such a bad place, you're like, I don't care what happens to me. If I die, I die. And then the other person, mostly alcohol, but funny enough, they started early, and they started with shrooms and LSD before weed. I'm pro weed for people. Like, it is a plant. Like, if you're going to do CBD and weed, I wouldn't be mad at you, but I'm not saying go out and do it. I'm just saying do something better for yourself. And he told me about the whole like Pink Floyd over the Wizard of Oz thing, and like, I've been in a room with people that were trying to do that, and like, watching them try to do that is like the funniest thing. They're like, no, you gotta hit play at the line when he screams, you know? All right, cool. I always love that. But he started drinking at 18, cocaine at 21. Alcohol and cocaine mix is such a popular one. Coke is super expensive, but like, you can get cheap ass beer, because beer, and when you're drunk, you're like kind of like getting tired and like down, but then you get coke, like someone takes Coke and they're like, "Bunk." You can tell someone's on Coke when they're eating their sandwiches, like they're just like, just talking. And then if they make like plans for the future, it's like, dude, like, you're such a good cook, like, we should open up a restaurant. And you do all this stuff. Then the next day you wake up and you're like, I am super depressed. And I asked him about the same thing with drug dealers, and he says he would lie. I also found out like people with addiction are good liars, and he would say it was for somebody else, because that drug dealer was a good friend of his. Well, not, would it be a good friend? I would say just a friend. He still drinks and does coke a little bit. He was doing good, but then COVID hit, which is unfortunate. But he's still going strong. He's got children that he loves very much, and that pretty much saved his life. So good on him. if he wants to get better, if you want to get better, you can do it, man. I believe in you. I love you both, and I thank you both for telling me that stuff. So those are just two little stories, and they're both mentally draining on you because taking drugs and being so down in the dumps that you just keep piling it on and you're masking it because you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this and not think about anything. It's like when people like drink your problems away. That's not a great idea. How about you don't? So I think that translates to the same with drugs and just being in denial and doing the whole, you know what, this is the last time I'm going to do this. So one more hit and then I'm going to fix it tomorrow. Deal? Deal. So please get help if you need it. I know I brought them up before, the SAMHSA, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. You can give them a call and they can help you out with both substance abuse and mental health issues at 1-800-662-4357. Again, that number is 800-662-HELP, H-E-L-P. I always found those numbers funny where you have to like type it in and you gotta like look at it and you're like, am I hitting the right thing? Like, just say the number. I'm not gonna remember the first 6 numbers before that, before help. I'm just gonna type help on the phone and be like, hey, do you know the number for, I don't know. Anyway, this is a quick episode. I'm sorry that I pushed everything together real quick. It was a lot of information real quick at you, but I just wanted to give the gist of it with those stories about addiction. I definitely want to focus on that again because I feel like I didn't have enough time to really dive into that, so I do apologize. But if you think you have addiction or if you know somebody that has addiction, there is a lot of resources online. I can direct you towards those, but it's one of the hardest things you probably have to face, both on each side if you are addicted to drugs or anything like that, to look yourself in the mirror and fix that. And then you have the other side where people love you and they want to help fix you for you. Because I feel like relapse too has a bad stigma. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that I'm not perfect. Like, I have to, if you fall back down, you got to get back up. You're running your own race. If you fall down, you shouldn't quit. I know a lot of people do. They're like, oh, well, I messed up. I'm just gonna give up. But you don't have to. It's your own race. You can just pick yourself up and go. And then everybody on the sidelines are people that love and support you. So if you focus on the crowd jacking you up, you can get to where you want to be. Like the Band-Aid over the broken arm. Just put it on and finish the race and then fix that after. You just got to do it for yourself because you're going to finish the race, and then do it for your fans on the side, even if you don't think you have fans, because there's people out there that support you. I love you. I want you to finish. I'll be there holding the sign. Let's go. But anyway, I want to end with a couple things. I was featured on Podmunity, where they post apps of like their apps, podcasts they love. I was featured on that. Pretty cool. And then on New Year's, another thing we did was watch the Bee Gees documentary. Go watch that. It is awesome. They got kind of screwed out of the whole disco thing because I didn't know they were like a real band before all that. Like they were like Beatles light. And then they like had to change with the times, like moved to Miami, got real funky, like played music. And then some dude was like, disco sucks, and they put them in that mix because they did the theme song for like Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. But like, Staying Alive is a fucking jam. Like, who's going to weddings and not dancing to that? But watch the Bee Gees. That is my recommendation for quote-unquote movie, but it's a documentary on HBO. And then for my music, listen to DangerDoom. MF Doom, great rapper, underrated rapper, passed away. Strangely enough, he died on Halloween, but people just notice it now. He's very mystique, very weird. But DangerDoom, the Mouse and the Mask album. Go listen to that, especially if you like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, The Brack Show. Wicked funny album. Wicked good lyrically. Yeah. But sorry for going a little bit long, over 20 minutes. It's very funny how quick 20 minutes comes when I'm in this room. My little shack. I'm very proud of what I did in this room now. I'm going to spice it up a little bit more. But I thank you again for checking out 20TIMinutes. Episodes are released every Tuesday. Thank you to my great friend, my best friend, my heterosexual life mate, Duff, for that introduction. You are great. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Did I say Twitter? I don't know. TikTok. You can probably Google me. I got the easiest name that you can find, unless you put 2 M's in there, which you shouldn't because it's 1 M. 20TIMinutes. Rolls off the tongue, kind of. But I love you guys. And don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need an outlet to chat or if you need me to find resources or help for you. I don't mind doing that. But go have yourself a week. I love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.